9 more times.
He's not in any movies that's been published.
So,
he was in Thor, the first one.
I feel good.
Hawkeye, the guy with the bow.
And like, so.
I'm Spazo, and this is the 28 House. And finally, I am back at the Dallas Fan Expo, one of my favorite places to go. And rather than wear a costume this time, I'm wearing a challenge to anybody who believes this not to be true, this 100% true statement to be not true. That being said, still want to do the same thing I always do. Still want to talk to people, do the other things I do at conventions, go to the panels if I'm lucky, because I have 0 dimes to my name at this moment. I'm never happier than when I am out amongst my people, the nerds, the weebs, the dweebs, the community. So let's have some fun. I'm on the Hawkeye is the greatest Avenger side. You're on the nah he ain't side. Who is the greatest Avenger? It's changed my mind. Change my mind. This is change my mind. You mean you want to change my mind? Change my mind. It's change my mind. You're change my mind. Change my mind. To change my mind. Change my mind. Go for it.
Captain America. It's got to be Captain America. And I got to give you my reasons why now?
I mean, if you got him.
I mean, he's the first Avenger. I mean, he's the original super soldier. He's indomitable is what Captain America is. Unstoppable, indomitable. Plus a vibranium shield, right? I mean, that's a nice thing to have. Morality.
Morality?
Yeah, he is a born leader. I feel, and I feel like anything that, I love Hawkeye, but anything that Hawkeye can do, Captain America can also do it.
Check this out, man. We have Iron Man. He can fly, right? He can shoot energy waves, right? How about what about the Hulk? He has muscles that can do whatever he wants, right? He can lift whatever he wants. He can hit whatever he wants. He can take as much as he wants. How about, I don't know, man.
Captain America, Hulk, Vision, Black Widow. I don't know anybody other than Hawkeye. He's the arrow guy. He has no powers. He is technically a villain. I don't know why they let him get away with being a villain for so long without locking him up. He's not even the best Hawkeye. He's the second best Hawkeye. Lady Hawkeye, way better than Dude Hawkeye. I mean, come on.
He's the exact same character as Birdman from Rick and Morty.
He hasn't had a movie made about him.
No.
And Black Panther has. Spider-Man has, even though he's now an Avengers, beginning to be one. You have Thor, who's a god. He's an Avenger, and he has a smart mouth, which makes him like really rock.
And I feel like I'm allowed to do that, you know?
I don't know.
He's been going around for a while in that terrible costume. I like the old-fashioned one, so that's a confidence issue. Also, he was Goliath for a while, and that was terrible. That's my argument. Did I change your mind?
No.
Hulk is obviously the most powerful, the strongest, I don't know. I think he's better than Hawkeye in every way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it an accuracy issue? I thought he wanted to become a Goliath because he was jealous that he didn't have superpowers, which also is a confidence issue.
So why do you think this flying bird creature as a hero? If you ask me, I think, well, to me Spider-Man is a good hero. Don't know why, but he has the guts. He's strong than any other warrior has ever seen, even though he isn't a warrior, but still, I don't mind.
Enjoyed so much by fans of this show. Not just because the choreography and the action.
Captain America has what?
Captain America has like enough knowledge. Captain America has enough knowledge about PowerPoints, and he's got his strength, not like enough strength just to beat him up, but he's got knowledge when it comes to fighting, you know. So I mean, Captain America is about justice and doing the right thing, even when it's not completely the right thing. It's what he thinks is the right thing.
In the movies, and only because of the movies do I disagree with that when Quicksilver saved Hawkeye's life.
I would argue Captain America is the greatest Avenger. Leadership qualities, obviously, willing to run into battle at any cost, has given his life once, technically twice when he lost the ability to, fight the aging effects and lost the ability of the super soldier serum to regenerate. But I definitely agree that Hawkeye is probably one of the most underrated Avengers. I will concede you that. Is that a fair?
Like I said, I have the same argument as him. He has no movie, but the fact of the matter is, he's a support character. He's not a hero. He comes in when everyone's down and no one can actually do anything. He's the only one that comes around and goes, "Hey, are you okay? I got you. I'm gonna shoot an arrow. I'm gonna hit you." That's what he does.
He's not a hero?
I don't think he's a hero. I think he's just psychic.
I think those are all amazing points. It's fair. I think you made a fair point. I think you've done good.
Yeah.
Those are all convincing arguments. You make a lot of compelling arguments as to why Hawkeye is not the greatest Avenger. Okay, yeah, I guess that is a great case. It's, you know, we're gonna rank it in the middle of all the arguments that I've gotten today. All right, I'm here with the unbelievable Gwenpool. So, are you visiting from the comic book reality, or are you planning on heading back? I mean, from what I understand, your series is coming to an end. What's next for Gwenpool?
Well, I jumped off the pages to come here and see everything, but next they're turning me into Ghost Spider Girl.
Ghost Spider, yeah, that's right.
Like that.
For some TV show,
yeah, for
or whatever.
all the female
Yeah.
Spider Gwens and everything.
Hey, buddy. If you're Steven Crowder, I've never met him. But when we're done here, if you want to challenge me, I'm ready to go. 50 seconds if you want to change my mind.
I don't want to change your mind. The dude has the balls to go out with a bow and arrow and with like some god-level people. Just saying.
What up, man? All right, you got anything to plug or whatever?
You can check my Instagram out at your.creepy.uncle.
Excellent. I am standing here with the masked man. Don't tell anybody, but it's Klaus from Mother 3. Mother 3. Masked man, tell me about yourself. Tell me what your deal is.
So basically, I'm just here with my friend Chance over here. We came out to check all the stuff. We've been coming here for about 3 years, every time to the convention. I just decided to be Masked Man this year because, of course, it wouldn't have happened without Smash coming out. Masked Man has been in my top 5 most wanted Smash characters for about, give or take, 3 years since before Smash 4 came out.
Yeah.
So it was either that or Gino, and I didn't have the materials to put together a Gino costume. So.
Oh man, no, mine was Gino. I mean, honestly, I'd rather have Kumatora from Mother 3.
Oh, that's fair. I've seen Kumatora. I've seen Masked Man, Porky, Ninten. The one I've seen most often is quote unquote Earthbound doesn't need another character, which I disagree with.
Man, I'll be honest. I'm not ready for a new Smash, right? Smash 4 for me is perfect.
I wasn't ready, but I am now.
But no, Kumatora is mine. I want Kumatora. She's the best. I mean, your Masked Man is great. What a sad ending for the Masked Man. I know. I'm willing to spoil it because A, no one's gonna play it. B, it's never coming out here in the West. So that's fine.
I mean, winning won't bring me back. So.
No, it won't. And your mom just wants you guys to stop fighting.
Right.
Oh man, I am so glad. Has anybody come up to you saying you're Masked Man?
You were the first person to recognize the costume, actually.
Well,
or the first person to say something about recognizing the costume.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. I was like, I think that's the Masked Man. And then, yeah, thank you, man. Boom, fist bump.
Right.
Bam. I'm here with various competitors from Street Fighter 5. Tell me about yourselves and tell me what your deals are.
My name's Cammie White, and I just beat the shit out of people.
Simple.
Yeah.
I am Colin. I am from Russia, and I fight.
With ice, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. It's cool.
For Russia.
It's cool.
I'm cool.
Bam.
I'm Minot, and I'm a fortune teller, and I also like being a cat.
I know so little about Minot so far. She's supposed to be related to Rose in some way.
Yes. Rose was my mentor.
I got really frustrated when they were like, we're gonna put Guy's trainer in the game, but not put Guy in the game. And I was like, who wants this other person? Who wants the guy? But Minot's a different story. I thought Minot was super cool. And an underrepresented group getting representation in Street Fighter, and absolutely. You guys look great. I don't know.
Thank you.
Is this your first time doing these characters?
Yes.
Yeah, this is my second time.
Yeah, this is both of our first.
The molded stuff looks like it took a while.
This was commissioned from
Oh,
a friend
really?
of mine. Yes. Bloom Ruined on Twitter. He's a really cool guy. You should check him out.
Because it all looks just fantastic.
Thank you.
Got anything else you want to plug or?
No, we're good. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Boom, fist bumps. Boom.
Sure.
Boom. I'll do what I always do, which is tell me about yourself and tell me what your deal is.
Sure thing. My name is Herbert Midgley. I'm known as the Internet Legend. I make films, I cosplay. Right now I'm making a short little documentary about who people that go to Comic Cons. I have been going to Comic Cons back in the days when it was only comics. 1988 was my very first one, and it was a little room, and basically I would go there and comic book artists would actually draw pictures and just give it to you. There was no charge for it. Once you got into to Comic Con, it was a really nice community. And as the years have gone by, this has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's really amazing to see whole families actually cosplaying together. Back in 1988, the only time we dressed up was Halloween. And now it can be Halloween any day of the week, any time of the year and whatnot.
It's hard to go back and like look at yourself in the past and see if you could have predicted the future. But that's what I've always wanted to ask people, because everybody who does this now, this is the cool thing to do. Anybody's willing to walk back to school on Monday and say, I spent all weekend at the convention dressed up as, I don't know, Winter Soldier, or dressed up as Mario. As a grown man, they're willing to go do that. But back in the day, even when I was a kid, you couldn't just go to school and talk about how you'd just been at a convention. I mean, like, nobody was into what I was into when I was a kid. I was a kid in the 90s. I mean, yeah, it was a popular subset, but it was always in its own corner, where all the once you turned 14, 15, everybody wanted to talk about, oh, who's watching Dawson's Creek? And I'm like, I'm not watching Dawson's Creek. I'm still watching, Avengers or Spidey's Heroes, Avengers United We Stand, which wasn't very good. And so I just want to know, what was it like when nobody was doing this, and how you had to kind of like keep it to yourself?
Well, basically, I mean, if you were into comic books, you went to these things. And also, the biggest thing that's different now is that women actually go to Comic Cons. Very few women were at the very first ones. And they were the completely cool, nerdy ones into comic books and whatnot like that. So that has completely changed tremendously in a lot of aspects. So it's weird seeing how it flipped, because, being a nerd or a geek or a dweeb back in the day, back in the 80s, was, a bit of a pejorative. It was a it was a negative connotation going on. Now, if you look at this whole culture here and the money market of this thing and the Marvel movies that come out, I mean, it's just a massive explosion. In 1988, I would never have ever predicted anything this big ever, comic book related or science fiction related.
I'm not talking to a girl right now, but for what I imagine, for us as guys, it would have been hard, because, we'd show up, in regular time and with our Spider-Man t-shirts or whatever, and people would kind of be like, are you still into Spider-Man? What are you, 9? I imagine that for girls, it wasn't that there was less of them, but for them, it was even harder. Girls were not even supposed to be allowed to be into that stuff, even when they were little. Like, they were supposed to be into the Barbies and Cabbage Patch Kids, all this stuff. And I bet there was a lot of girls back when we were kids who wanted to read the comic books and talk about the superheroes. And for them, they had to even be even more in the closet.
Yeah, definitely. It was more of an underground, and little by little, there's more acceptance, bigger, more comic books, and science fiction is female related as well. So I think that expanded this as well. And I think, a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends started to get into it once the movies and comic books and anime and whatnot. So then a lot of things kind of went in to make this thing bigger and bigger and bigger.
Believe me, I sometimes I feel like some of the kids today are lucky, because they're like, because I could be like, hey, I was just watching Dragon Ball Z, and the girls would just kind of like all flock away from me. And now start talking about anime and the girls flock to you, and I'm like,
it's definitely been a big flip.
Like, you lucky kids. It didn't work that way for us. I mean, but still though, it's I was not expecting, even when I was a kid in the 90s, I was not expecting things to get so popular. I wasn't expecting my nerd culture to become the standard-bearing pop culture. And he saved everyone. He ripped a bullet out of his shoulder and flicked it into the mobster's eye.
You used that argument yesterday.
Yeah, because he's a hero.